This video falls under fair use. Fair use allows commentary, criticism, and reactions. What's up, back with another one. So today, I'm going to show you this clip of Jimmy Kimmel getting suspended. Check this clip out.
Yeah. Speaking of misinformation and censorship and
it's disgusting.
Whoa. Which part?
The fact that
can we say what happened?
Jimmy Kimmel was basically released indefinitely by the network,
ABC,
for comments that he made about Charlie Kirk.
Yes. Which
weren't really.
There were more comments about how Donald Trump is
reacting to Charlie Kirk's passing away.
Right.
And as a result, the network released him again indefinitely. I don't know if he will still be paid or not, but
he will.
He will?
He will, yeah. Because they didn't suspend him, they basically just not airing his show.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll take it. That money,
which I thought they were wording as an indefinite suspension until he donates money to Charlie Kirk's
family
and apologize. Charlie Kirk's family and apologize. The foundation and apologize for his commentary.
You're extorting me at that.
Right. That's literally what you're doing.
How is that legal, Mark?
It is. I'm not sure it is. I mean, it's a tough situation because you got a company that's saying, we're taking you. They have a right to take them off air, especially if they're paying. See, when CNN did that to me, they paid me. They paid my whole contract out. So technically, there's nothing they can.
Very flex then.
No, that's not a flex. I'm saying I got silenced. You know what I mean? Like I probably should have not taken the money and fought. You know what I mean?
Like depending on who looking at it.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what they're saying. The problem is here, right? They're infringing upon his freedom of speech.
First Amendment.
Whatever amendment it is.
First.
That's my thing. When does this stop? Where's the Ed to wit in?
I think the bigger problem, aside from the free speech, is just the censoring of media, not necessarily the free speech part. I think that anytime you're squashing people who don't agree with you, especially when it's a comedic platform, is a super dangerous position
No,
to be in.
and you give Fox 5 and any other platform that is in agreement with you full reins to say whatever the f they want to say.
Right, the dude was just on there the other day talking about euthanizing homeless people.
Yeah,
exactly.
No repercussions whatsoever. Floyd got, they said whatever they wanted to say.
Charlie Kirk, year straight.
They still doing it for a year straight. He didn't die as a result of a knee on his neck. He died as a result of overdose.
Right.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk was
himself saying that
and was tagging his children. Was tagging
his teenage children.
Yeah,
that's a fact
about that, which was just cruel. So there's two issues here. Is like
crazy.
ABC has a right to say who can have a show and who can't. Right?
Sure.
You don't have a First Amendment right to a TV show.
Sure.
The problem here, though, is that the FCC
forced them.
Is intervening, right, and it's been very public, even on right-wing podcasts, saying that this is a problem. So if the state is intervening and saying you can say stuff and you can't, because as you pointed out, Parks, Brian Kimmel is on Fox and Friends saying that you should be killing homeless people. He apologized for, but you should be homeless people if they won't agree to get locked up. I mean, how is that within the lines? But just pointing out that the Charlie Kirk supporters are MAGA isn't. Like, that to me is weird. And so suspending Jimmy Kimmel to me is so far beyond the norm and so far beyond the bounds of what should be in a democratic society. That's crazy to me.
It's huge. Like,
I want to at least I want to play some shit that Kev from Barstool posted.
Okay.
They trying to silence me too.
I don't know if I haven't fact checked him, but he just goes a little deeper as to.
All right, Jimmy Kimmel's suspension goes way deeper than just your typical cancel culture saga now that we know about the details of the potential Nexstar merger and the FCC's hypocrisy. Before I tell you everything that I got wrong and what I did know about the situation, let me explain where I was coming from with my mentality, with my first reaction. I don't really like Jimmy Kimmel. I find him to be a snarky hypocrite.
No, shut up. We don't need your opinion on this, Kev. Sorry. We just want to hear the fact.
But as a content creator who says jokes and has said inflammatory things and has crossed the line before, I ordinarily would side with people who get canceled and say that's f***ed up, I should be able to say whatever I want and make whatever joke I want. And in an effort to compromise and meet people halfway, I thought we were operating under this philosophy of you can have free speech, but there are consequences for your words. Because that's what I heard for a decade straight with politically correct people trying to cancel controversial people. So my opinion was, why doesn't this fall into that same umbrella, right? Jimmy Kimmel has an audience, he works for a company, there are...
And I with you, Kev, but
you have to
important right now.
Parameters, and he didn't. What I did not know about
Here we go.
was the blatant hypocrisy from the FCC, and even what the purview of the FCC is. I was under the impression that the FCC monitors broadcasts for the general public interest, that you're going to protect children and you're going to stop hate speech, and you're there to basically patrol the overall well-being and peace of society in terms of broadcast. When it comes to things like language and ratings for children and rap lyrics like Eminem, they're like, hang on, if something is going to disrupt things too much, we've got to take a look at that. Well, this is Brendan Carr, the head of the FCC, in 2019, flat out saying the FCC does not police speech in the name of public interest and that the government should not censor speech at all. Now, we fast forward to yesterday, after Nexstar threatened to preempt Jimmy Kimmel with their 28 local stations and essentially forced the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel. Brendan Carr comes out and says, I'd like to thank Nexstar for doing the right thing. They have an obligation to serve the public interest. That is about as blatantly hypocritical as it gets. Now, the next part of the situation, Nexstar announced they were trying to merge with their biggest rival that would create this one gigantic media conglomerate, but the problem was that kind of violates FCC rules about how much power one group can have on television. But just recently, Brendan Carr, our boy Mr. Hypocrite, said that his mind was open to getting rid of those artificial limits on how many TV stations one company can own. Now, how do Nexstar and Carr connect? Well, Brendan Carr went on a podcast and said he believes the individual licensed stations are the ones that need to step up and say, we don't want Jimmy Kimmel. So Nexstar, who's trying to get this merger done and needs to break the rules and needs the FCC to change their mind on some of the laws, sees Brendan Carr saying, here's what I want from you guys. And they say, let's fucking give it to him so that we can get our merger done and get our $6.2 billion. It's always about the money.
Yeah. It's American as apple pie and baseball, man.
Let me just jump in real quick. This is one of those moments that really shows how things have flipped. A few years back, people were calling out the right for overreacting or canceling, but now it's like the same playbook's being used in reverse. It's wild to see how that energy has shifted.
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me.
That's disgusting.
So it don't really be about no
That
more.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's not about morality. It's about spanking.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. Again, I haven't checked that. If what he's saying is true, that sounds about right to me.
I didn't have that deep of an analysis because I didn't do the research. But what I knew for sure was his contract was up next summer, 2026.
That's what I thought.
And they weren't renewing him.
Yeah.
And they seem to be getting rid of late night TV. So this seemed, either way, it seemed like a convenient out. That's even more interesting and complex. But yeah, at the very least, it seems like a business move either way.
I think late night TV is a wrap.
It is.
Especially at the clip that they used to be paying them.
Yeah.
They were some of the highest
paid. It was a $48 million contract.
Yeah, they were some of the highest paid people in entertainment. And I think late night TV is just an old school thing.
And I hate that.
Well, I think it's going to evolve and move like everything else in media. You know what I mean? Like even with sports, ESPN is not a great place to really get sports information from. Like YouTube and independent creators are a better place to get real sports information from.
I don't think that we'll see a world without late night television.
Yeah, I think
in my lifetime.
It'll be somewhere else.
But I don't see
it now.
I don't think they'll be paid what they were paid.
You're
Like
right.
Well, that's
Jay Leno,
That's different.
Letterman, all of these guys used to get these astronomical.
It's a dying industry, but
They used to get
That's when it was
huge contracts.
So that's not to
No,
say
that's
that
not. It's been lit. That's not when it was lit then, and it's continued to be lit.
it's also not to say that if the Joe Budden podcast aired nightly at 10 p.m., we would be in the same conversation with them. Like I'm saying, those guys can make the same money. It might just not be at CBS.
What's up? So what are my thoughts about this? Here's the thing. The situation with Jimmy Kimmel and his joke about Charlie Kirk brings up a bigger conversation that goes way beyond just late night comedy. We're seeing a cycle where both political sides are now using the same tactics to call out and pressure public figures. It's like there used to be this clear divide. One side was always seen as the canceller, and the other was defending free speech. But lately, those roles have been switching back and forth, depending on who the target island. When jokes were made at the expense of one side, there was a lot of defense about humor and context. Now we're seeing those same arguments flipped. It's not even about agreeing with the joke or not, it's about how easily people can push for suspensions or consequences based on political reactions. For someone like Jimmy Kimmel, who's been a staple of late night and known for pushing boundaries, this kind of pushback just shows how sensitive things have become across the board. And companies like ABC are now caught in the middle, trying to respond to online noise while also protecting their brand. Whether or not people agree with the joke, the fact that suspension even became a response says a lot about the climate we're in. We've reached a point where any kind of comment, whether meant to be funny or provocative, can trigger waves of backlash from either side. Okay, so drop a comment, smash that like button, and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video.